Hey guys, Ken77171 back with another ATS video. We are now in the Freightliner FLD. We just built this truck. Just finished driving that Ford. This time it went a little smoother. Got in the truck. That's interesting. I just noticed that the surround around those headlights doesn't match the paint of the truck. Oh well. All the lights work. I picked up this Cascadia trailer. We got 44,000 pounds in the box. Got a pretty long drive, 750 miles. I figured we're going to Odessa. It'll be a pretty easy trip across Texas. I figured we'll do that one this time. I do have the trailer wheels moved all the way forward. I'm surprised it didn't... automatically move them. We might. Got a Caterpillar 3406D, I think. B or D. So let's go forward a little bit here. And it's, I believe, slash to move those wheels. Let's split the difference there. Goddamn. Okay. This is pretty cramped. Trying to get out of here. We got to turn left there and then turn right. So, not ideal. This is why you would want a cab over. Grab the Cascadia trailer that we had.
Turn right.
I have to get used to the turning radius of this thing. Way over doing it. See that little bar like in the side mirror there?
Get ready to turn right.
What the fuck is that? Oh, it's that handle on the side of the truck. I kept seeing this thing right at the edge of the trailer.
Turn right.
there any scales we're going to have to go across? I'd like to weigh it. I'd be curious. There's one right there. I'd be curious to see if we can go in and with scale. The other possibility would be to find a truck stop with a scale. Okay, that's going to be it'll be a question of whether they pull us in or not. If not, I'm just curious to see what the is the truck. Some of these, like the Argosy, is just way overweight for what is reality. There is a scale here, so we'll set that as a backup in case we don't. I really want to find out how much it weighs. That would be way easier to get in and out of. There's a scale right here too. I think that would be easier. Maybe not. Okay. We'll just have to see. I'd really like to know what it weighs. Because again, that's the problem with the Argosy is, you put a 600 horsepower engine in it. You only got 44,000 pounds in the box, which is, average full weight for a truck. And you end up being 82 or 83,000 pounds, which is would not be reality.
Time to hit the road.
45,000 pounds in the box. You really ought to still be under 80,000 pounds. So there's something wrong with the mod, design of the truck, or I don't know how. I'm not sure how they designed the modded trucks. This truck's by Harbin, although I think the Argosy was too. So maybe it's something to do with that design. He's well known for having very good, detailed trucks. ride's really nice. Not that I'm feeling it, but you can kind of tell by how soft it is. You know, how it goes over the bumps. Yep, we're heavy, which I figured we might be. 81,204. We shouldn't be over 80,000 pounds with 44,000 pounds in the box. So, you know, again, some of these trucks are just heavy, and that's why they feel slow. It's really unfortunate. option for that. Reset the, we don't need to know what our weight is now.
Okay.
Headlights are good. That good headlight mod seems to be working well on pretty much every truck. I'll tell you one of my favorite rigs, besides the W900, just it's gorgeous and I love driving it. As far as easy to go, man, that International 9800 is ugly as hell on the outside, but it is a good driving truck. Great visibility. A couple small complaints: it's lightweight, doesn't seem to be heavy. It'd be a great truck to have in real life. That huge interior for a cab over. It's just ugly as hell on the outside, but, you know, good selection of engines in the game. There's a repair shop right there. I'd be curious to see. Why don't we do that? Let's stop here and we'll change the engine to a Detroit 12.7 and we'll see what effect that has on the noise.
Ready to rock.
So I think this truck would be a super comfortable, nice rig, quieter. And the 12.7 Detroit, I believe, is a newer engine than the Caterpillar 3406. Not totally sure. We'll always stop at the repair shop, check over the truck, and just see what engines are available, and see if something might make sense. Sound difference is going to be dramatic because that Z-Mods 12.7 Detroit is really quiet. Very, very realistic. Turbo whistle, but not much mechanical exhaust noise. So.
Keep right. And then exit right. Exit right. Keep left and then turn left. Turn left.
By the way, in real life, you would never come in that onto an off-ramp.
Keep right.
Let's see what we got. First of all, let's see if there's any damage from anything. Let's just see what we got here. Sometimes it like the game just hesitates like that, and you're thinking it is going to crash. So it's got 3406, 525 horsepower, 1900 pound-feet of torque, which is pretty good. What engines are available? So that's the mod. That's the 12.7 liter. There's an N14. That's a straight pipe. I wouldn't want that. Let's disable all. Let's just see what's available in this one. And that's all there is 3406. What was in this one? I thought there were some. You could put a. There was a 60 series. (14 liter), 575 horsepower. That might be an option. Don't know what that engine sounds like. But it is about the same amount of torque as what's in there now. And a little bit more power. There's a DD16, so that's interesting. You could do that. You'd want to change the gear ratio because the peak torque's at 975 RPM. That would be an interesting option. Be basically like an old truck with a glider truck, you know, old car, opposite of a glider. Yeah, that wouldn't suck. If you really liked this truck and you wanted it to be more fuel efficient and more power and all of those things, that would be a pretty epic option. There's several in that steel series. So we looked at that one. What is in this one? I think it's all cats. No. There's a ton of them in here. Cummins, Caterpillar, Detroit DD13. Oh, look at that one. That's bullshit. I've tried this one. It's not 825 horsepower. It's insane. With 1,200 pound-feet of torque, those two numbers don't work out. There's another DD16, also probably ridiculous. And let's look at the Z mods. I'm pretty sure 500. 500 and 1600. It's not that much less powerful than the engine we had. 1,200 RPM. What was the what's the one we have at 1,200? So we could leave the gear ratio the same or go a little taller. I'd be inclined to do that just to keep it quiet. What's the power output? 520 horsepower, 1900 versus 520, 1900 versus 500 and 1600. It'll be a little slower, but and then the other option would be to try, this 600 horsepower DD16. Or something like that. Don't know what they sound like, but let's we know the Z mods is a good sounding engine. So let's just do that for now.
Drive safe.
I'm gonna have to turn the volume up. Be interested to see also, are there any other truck repair shops part way that we could try that other engine with the same. What the fuck? Oh. We could try that too. Well, I'll leave that in there, and if we decide not to do it, that's fine.
Time to get the
Be
job
interesting
done.
to try it with the same load. Be interested to try that other TD16.
Keep left and then turn left.
Interested in it starting off in second gear, not first, so it still thinks we can. What the fuck is going on up here?
Turn left.
There's nobody there. Yeah, I know that's guys, but. This one revs a little bit less. Alright, we'll just finish this delivery. Really weird how that the 14 liter Z-Mods is not available, but this one is. Maybe the 14 liter wasn't available yet.
Keep left.
This truck has a lot of the attributes of, you know, the W900. You know, good mirrors, easy, good visibility, but it's a little shorter. Not as many engine options. But for a long-nosed truck, you know. I'm just seeing what we can get running here. I mean, it'll definitely run 90 miles an hour, no trouble.
Keep left.
We don't want to do that through here. It's deceptively curvy. Once we get past El Paso, though, we might haul ass a little bit and see what happens. Fuel economy is going to suck, but I'll be interested to see what it is, actually. We do have a trailer with aero on it, you know, aero stuff. With the light traffic through here, right now. This is not, you can go pretty quick, but during the daytime, you'll find random cars in the left lane.
Keep left.
It's gonna peak out probably right about 90 miles an hour.
Keep left.
Hello, Mr. Police Officer. You would get such a huge ticket right now. It's ridiculous. Turn on the engine brake. What did I just do? I accidentally hit the fucking engine start-stop button on the sim dashboard. I was trying to hit the high beam. I was noticing we were in the middle of nowhere and the high beams were not going on.
Keep left. Keep right, and then exit right.
Shit.
Exit right.
Why the fuck is it doing that? Oh, that was because we wanted to change the engine. Oh, motherfucker. Well, what the hell? I don't want to do that, really. Fuck.
Get ready to turn left.
Let's just reset the... I do want to try that other engine, but I don't want to do it right now.
Let's go.
Let's just finish with what we're doing. Trying to figure out why the hell it was having me... Why it was having me exit. You know? kind of warning. It popped up in the middle of the light, middle there. I don't know what it was. One of those orange lights down the center. That one.
Go straight on.
Yeah, I know. Putting that DD16 in here doesn't really. I would have to change the. Why don't we just get on the fucking highway right here? Yeah. Why the hell are you gonna stay on the service road more than you need to? Well, he's got a big boy trailer. I wonder what that warning was as I was coming to a slowdown. It happened when I was slowing down both times. Well, that sucks that I was going like 90 miles an hour and slowed down for no reason at all. That definitely won't help the fuel economy. Headlights are fine. I do have roof lights, which I think is why you see the cliff so much up there. Driving a bit like an asshole today. Considering how crappy I've driven and how fast, it'll be interesting to see what the fuel economy is. Boy, it would suck for those guys right there. Wobbly there. Yeah, 85 miles an hour, 1700 RPM. That's not bad. Peak torque on this is a 1200, so that's a 1500 is a very reasonable RPM to be running, especially at this speed. And I noticed when I took off that it was picking second gear. It was picking second gear to start off with, so there's more than enough power. Although, again, it does have the issue of it's too heavy for its, for what it should be. In the game, it's not like you get fined for being overweight, so it doesn't really matter. Also, I don't know whether the game takes this into account, but we got those big floodlights up on the roof, which, in all honesty, don't add a hell of a lot. They light up the bridge, as you're approaching it, You can bypass the scales, that's good. I think they noticed I was going 85 miles an hour. They would have in real life. This thing rolls along nice, man. I don't think I did any wheel changes or anything. It looked pretty good with those shadow wheels and super singles on the back. Sort of modernizing a little bit. There's cars in both lanes coming up here as well. I do love the turbo noise in this.
Keep right, and then exit right. Exit right. Get ready to turn left.
Two-way service roads in Texas are pretty weird if you've never come across them.
Turn left.
Here goes that light again. It's the second one from down from the top.
Keep right, and then turn right. Turn right.
Then goes off as we slow. Maybe it's ABS. Could be an ABS light. That'd be unusual. So we're starting off in second. See, you have to yield to the oncoming traffic from the highway there.
Get ready to turn left. Turn left. This is where it ends.
By saying that. Look down the thing until about here, crank it all the way to the right. There's a fucking pole in the middle of the fucking road. really right there? It is. Why in the fuck would you put a light pole right in the middle of the goddamn parking lot? That has got to be the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. Let's put it right in front of the docks where it's in the way for people to hit. Why didn't you just put it, like, right there in the grass and light that area that way? Oh, my... I see those overhead lights. How they stick up like that? You know, do they affect fuel economy? Who the hell knows? We're almost at a correct 45-degree. That has got to be the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. Normally they would put, like, posts around it, too. Why is it not? Nothing second when really it ought to be first there. Alright, guys. That'll be the end of that. Another hour-long video. And 5 miles per gallon, considering how much of an asshole we drove. It's not terrible. Alright, guys. That'll be it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And be safe out there. And have a good New Year's Eve. Make sure you take an Uber. Don't drive drunk.